I played a master game the other day and I was given one single opportunity to win this game. So let's talk about it. Boom, boom, boom. Cue epic music. So, in Let's Talk About It, what I will show is a late game or end game possibility that I failed and what I could have done different and the things that was required for me to be able to get that moment or possibility to do so and why it's good. And what I aim to do here is to put emphasis on how important it is to execute certain things and also show you guys ways and opportunities as to how you can end the game. Even if overall you guys are behind, because obviously in this game here, my entire team was behind and I was given one single opportunity, as I said, to win this game here, but I failed. So that's what I want to show here. Let's get started. So first, the requirements for me to be able to take blame or why I can actually take blame for this here, although my team was behind, they gave me an opportunity to win the game here. So I failed in this moment, although as I said, overall, of course they inted, but I can take responsibility for this play here and I had the chance to win the game, as I said. I just want to put real emphasis on that, so sorry for repeating. So obviously the first requirement you need to have is to recognize that you have a moment to win the game. Say you reach a spike, as you see me here, I reach my mythic spike, which is quite huge against the team, because Rek'Sai and Aatrox is quite tanky, although when I'm playing 90 attack and I get my Riftmaker, I will do enough mixed damage to be able to deal with them, and especially if they stack, in which place I choose to fight will then also greatly benefit me. So me deciding to fight here or wanting to take a fight is my responsibility. The second way of me having responsibility here is to make a call, and if my team follows, it is then my responsibility for that call, right? But if they did not follow me and they didn't decide to go with me, then obviously I would not be to blame because the team would not play, right? So that would be an entirely different thing. But as I said, I was given an opportunity here. My team followed me and went with what I asked. And if I would have coordinated and played this better, we would have won, right? So again, the reason why I can say I was given the opportunity here is because I made a call that I can win the game here, or we can win a huge fight if the team comes. If they don't come, you can't take, or you don't have to take responsibility. It's not going to be your fault then, right? Because your team is legit hard inting. There's a difference here. They are inting already, but at least they're willing to listen to you and go with you, right? So they're allowing you to get that moment that you think you have right now. So again, if my team didn't come, this wouldn't be my fault and this wouldn't have been an opportunity I was given, right? So then it wouldn't have been my fault. However, because I did get to call the game here, right, then it's my fault that I failed. Second, you actually need to make the call. If you see a moment where you can actually win the game, or say you want to fight on Dragon, if you don't ping it, you're also part of the problem. Then you're also to blame. But if you try to communicate, as I do here, then at least that removes some of that fault that lies on you, right? Because you see a moment that you can win, you have to try and make the call or communicate it. Whether the team wants to listen to you or not is another matter. But if they do want to listen to you and you end up misplaying it, then again, it is your fault, right? But overall, in the bigger picture, it's of course not your fault because it could have gone better, right? Teammates couldn't have entered. But overall, at least try. But if you don't, then it's going to be your fault too, right? Because you're not participating as well. Because what you're essentially doing here is you're taking the leader role in this moment. And what a leader has to do is take responsibility, which is what I'm doing in this moment here, right? I wanted to lead and they followed. If they didn't follow, then again, it would have been their fault, not yours. But as a leader, it's important to recognize the mistakes that you made so you can later improve, right? Anyway, enough talking. Let's get started with actual gameplay here. And let's talk about what's going on here and the mistakes that I make. But first, I'll let the clip play. You guys can try and guess what's going on here. And then after, I'm going to tell you guys the aim and why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I actually wanted to do and what went wrong and why. And yes, essentially this is a chess endgame study. Just like you would study endgames in chess, this is what we're doing here. We're studying an endgame possibility in League of Legends and why I went wrong and what I should have done instead, and then it would have been a clean sweep checkmate, easy peasy. Because essentially because you can't control all characters, there's a limited amount of scenarios where you can actually incorporate your team and have easy ways of ending the game. And all champions have different ways of ending the game. However, this one is one of the easiest ones to coordinate with your team to do on Twitch, which is why we're studying this one here now. So what did I want to do here? And why did it go wrong? To answer that, I'm going to swap my screen here and show you guys on a RiftKit website and then explain the scenario and what I wanted to do and what went wrong, and then we'll go over it in the footage again as well. So what I wanted to do was I wanted our team to group here, which I achieved, and then I wanted us to shove here and then push here and then threaten this tower, and in doing so their enemy team would come here, which is a very narrow place to fight. It benefits me greatly and I will be able to kill them very, very quickly. Because similarly as it's what you guys saw earlier here, I managed to kill the Aatrox with less items. And you guys also saw in the clip that I even did manage to kill or deal quite a lot of damage to Aatrox when we did end up fighting here, right? But the benefit of us fighting here as opposed to here is that it's a lot more close spaced. The limited amount of entrances, right? And it's not so much room to move, which would enable me to get better ultimate off, hit more people, also because they would enter at the same time as opposed to here, where you can see they entered very split, right? And spread around, and I ended up having to pull back, and then I got grouped upon and everyone else just ended up getting split. So it got quite messy. However, if we were to take the fight here, it would be a lot less messy, which is why I'm very, very confident that we would have won the fight if it were to happen here. So what went wrong? I went here, and we even knew they were going to be here. But I greeded and I pushed here, thinking they wouldn't go. But then they quickly went on me. So what I should have done is been more patient and pushed slower and wait for them to respond here or pull back. Because even if they were to come here, and I would have managed to actually pull back this way, we could have also took the fight here, right? So in the end, the reason why I failed was patience. I wasn't patient, I wasn't paying attention. If I would have paid attention to this very key moment here when they engaged to me, you even saw that I dared them by walking there and they just jumped me. I didn't think that would happen, but it did. And that's how we lost the fight. But again, if I would have been more patient, which is the key here, you need to be more patient and make sure that you get the fight here. If you know that in this area, be careful. Just slow it down and take the fight here instead. Because then you're going to get a very similar situation to here. They will all appear and they'll come around this corner and again be very stacked, right? So one of the most important parts is to be patient. Patient is actually one of the hardest skills in League. It comes to summoner spells, being patient when using them. It comes to engages, everything. Patience is one of the hardest skills to master. Although this patience that I displayed here was a very low amount of patience that almost every single player can manage to pull off, right? Because all I have to do is make sure they don't engage us here and I wait. And all I have to do then is just wait here and do it slow. But I just rushed it and that's why we lost. I would have took it slower, we would have got the fight here, we would have definitely won. Right, so now I'm going to show it in-game of the footage and then we'll look at that, why I went wrong again, and display why it's so bad to take a fight there as opposed to here, where I showed. So, let's have a look here. We can even see that it's getting pinged, that they're going to be there, right? We'll see that shortly, it's getting pinged by Jace. So in this moment, I should have gone back, which is what I'm doing kind of. But then I dare it, I even see them, and then I get engaged on, and then it goes wrong here. Second part, right, if they would have all engaged to me straight away here, and I would have got my ultimate off, then my ultimate would have gone in a straight line, I probably would have been able to kill them, right? But again, because of the angle and everything, you'll just see they split off, pull back. I'm having to deal with Rek'Sai. Cassio and Nami is able to go this direction here, right? Which again, I only have limited amount of places where I can shoot. Right, so you can see here, because of the room they have and the angle, I'm not able to actually do as much damage as I can. And also because I did get jumped on, I had to waste my flash and everything as well, right? Which again is another important factor when it comes to doing plays like this. You kind of do have to have flash, which is something I did, right? But you can just see it. Ignoring this here, just the amount of space they have to move around and how they can all approach at different times here because of them getting their engage and everything. Whereas if I would have took it slow, then they would have had to either just defend and then I could engage into them as opposed to them engaging into me, right? So yeah, that's the key lessons here. And just to summarize them again, communicate with your team. If you see you have an angle or something you can do, a good way of ending the game on Twitch is especially to do it on side lanes. It's very easy to pull off and to coordinate. You just need everyone to come. Slow push top or bot, regardless. And then kill them on the tower or something, right? Until you can see them all. When you know they're all together, then you just fight and then they die. So this is why I'm showing this moment here. It's a very easy one to pull off, and it works in every single elo because there is no counterplay if it's played properly, right? Counterplay meaning that there aren't any like alternative solutions or things they can do to like circumvent having to defend, right? They have to defend, they have to respond to the threat. Like in the end, there's nothing they can really do in that regard besides like winning it or defending by just killing minions, right? But my idea here was that I would open them under the tower and then just at least try and kill them or flash on them, right? You can see my damage here. And I didn't even get to touch Cassio, Lucian, or Nami. You can see even without ultimate up, they still get almost destroyed instantly, right? So just imagine the same scenario here. They're all stacked on the turret or something, and me getting a proper opener here. They would have been evaporated instantly, died, and then we could end the game. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show here. Go to side lanes, group your team, ask for them to come. If they don't, then it's kind of whatever, nothing you can do. But if they do, then at least try and play properly and be patient, because it really does matter a lot, especially in these scenarios here that I'm showing. And you can also see the consequence of taking a fight here as opposed to further in, right? So yeah, that's my end game study here and my massive int in master. I hope you guys continue to have a good morning, evening, night, whichever one fits. Should like that, and take care. Peace. Bye.